plumbed up now. Got a nice plummet on bottom, ready to go. When you're plumbing up with paste, it has to be as you look at your float when you're fishing, because the paste is your bait. So if you're too high, if you're too over depth, then your float will just float on top and it won't sit right. If you're too under depth, then obviously your paste will come straight off. So pick a mark on the far bank. I'm fishing between those two lilies. Make sure you've got your pole is essential to go on the end of your elbow, just so you know that then you're shipping out to the exact same place every time. Just drop down. Now you can see that that's pretty much bob on really. That's perfect really for how you'd want it to be. And you hold your line off the water when we fish paste, which I'll go through you. Just with a paste bite, you don't strike right or left, it's straight up when you strike. You strike a bit firmer to pull it out of the paste. But you will have to alter either making it deeper or shallower through your fishing. The reason is, when you put the pellets all in the same spot, eventually you'll land on the pellets, and obviously it'll give a higher reading on your float, because your paste won't be sat on the bottom, it'll be sat on your pellets, and vice versa. If when you get a lot of fishing, they'll eat away at the pellets and it'll dig the floor up a bit, the silt, so obviously that'll give you a deeper peg. So we'll ship in, we'll get some bait on them, give it a try. Obviously I'm not expecting to catch one on first drop, but we can certainly show you how to get started, set off, and who knows, maybe there might be some fish knocking about. Now it's a pretty simple method to do really. I hold my pole underneath my arm, and right, so just going to get a piece of paste about that size to stamp fish. Obviously if you're going for bigger, I'd go for a bigger size of paste. I know that looks a bit mental, but that's perfectly enough size as that. So get it into a ball, thumbprint in the middle, I'm sure you've seen this before, hook in the middle, close your sides up, keep a good eye on where the line is that comes out the top, and I'll explain that to you why in a second. Right, so you've got your paste there. What I do is I rest it on my knee. I know people do it in a different way around, but this is the way I do it. Right, so I'm just going to get some pellets in. There's two lines on your pots. Start off with, I'm just going to fill it to the top line, because obviously there's no bait in there, so just give it a little tiny push down. Now the line coming off the top, now you want that line right in line with your pole here. You know, I fish backwards-handed, I fish left-handed. If you're fishing right-handed, then you can fish it on the other side, it's up to you. Basically all it is when you put your paste in the top like that, I can, when I'm switching it, when I take the pole out, I swing the float to the left out the way, I tip to the right, because the line's on the right hand side of the pole, that's the way I've got to tip it in. So if I tip to the other way, you tip it over the top of top section, and then obviously then that, you know, it wouldn't work straight away, it just pull you up straight out. So, not fishing very far out, found a bit of flat ground just at the bottom of the shelf. So just nice and gently ship out, just keep having a look behind you to see where your tip of your pole is. Once you find the tip of your pole, get to your elbow, find your marker, swing your float out of the way, line up with your marker right next to the water, and tip the contents in. And just gently, quickly lift your float above it. It'll sit flat and then it'll register tall when you float. There you go, that's your float now registered in perfect depth. And all we need to do now is wait for a bite. You're not looking for steady bites when you fish with paste, you're looking for straight under bites, you know, straight down to, straight under the water or flying straight out of the top of the water. They're not very difficult bites to miss, but it does get a bit more difficult when you've got more fish in the peg. Tiny few indications there, there's a fish around. I can see a few fish on the top, so hopefully there's a few decent size ones there, so hopefully, you know, they might drop down to bait and might catch a few of those. But basically, really, your first 5 to 10 casts are just getting, you know, fishing, getting your bait into your peg really, and if you pick an odd fish up in them first 10, then that's always a bonus. But it's not always guaranteed. And you want to give it no more than 2 minutes really while you're setting up really. Purely because you need to get a bit of bait for the traction. And I must say, when you get a bite, strike directly up, and you must strike quite firm because you're going to pull the hook through the paste and straight into the fish's mouth. So it wants to be quite a firm strike, a bit more than you think you should really. There's a little indication there. Now something's not that obviously, so the paste's coming off, and because it wasn't a fast hook bite, see that something's knocked it, and it's not the paste's not fully off, but there's something knocked it, so it's not fully, obviously not the full weight there. What I'm going to do now is just lift it up and rebait, and then we can try again and see if there's anything out there. Just hooked into this first fish, so first things first, just get it away from your head, keep your pole nice and low. Just feel where the fish is going, and if you can bring it back now. The fish is coming towards him, keep a little bit of an angle onto him. Try and get him onto your top section, and once you're on your top section, you keep your pole nice and low then. Once you feel that it's running out of steam, usually pull a kick, just put a bit more extra strength on him. You don't need your net until you've at least seen the fish. Don't even worry about your net until you've seen the fish. Again, if it makes sudden darts, nice and keep your pole nice and low when it starts to dart. If you need to gain control, always you can sink your tip, and that puts extra pressure on the fish. Nice little common. Now we've seen it, so we can look at his net. Let's come up for a bit of air. Just like to raise your pole tip slightly now. Ready to fit these little fish. Yep, he's ready. Quick scoop and your way. That's the first fish of the day. It's not a bad start, a couple of pounds. We'll let us count and give you a look. There we go, it's not a bad start at all. Nice little common carp, a couple of pounds, decent little scrapper fights. This is just a start of what obviously we're hoping to get bigger fish, but it just shows you how quickly that pace gets them going. I mean, that's probably, I've had about 8 drops, I've been fishing probably about 10-15 minutes now, and we've already got one on, so hopefully we should bait back up and have another try, see if we've got some more.